Hi YouTube, it's Post Runner Felicity here, which means I'm exhausted, I ache, I'm a little mad. I don't get runner's highs, so it's just painful for me. But I'm just happy that I'm running. It's supposed to be for health. It's supposed to build up my lung capacity. And yeah, on my run back, I was like, I think I want to be snarky online, so let's go. It is crazy to me that people think trans women in sports are there to dominate women's sports. Because, like, I don't know, all these people promised that I would, estrogen would give me an advantage over other ladies. But all I am is out of breath, tired, and every single other woman passes me by when I'm out running, including the kids. So I just think it's really funny that this is a line that conservatives use to be like, trans women shouldn't exist, because I have no advantages here. I've been running for 3 weeks, maybe 4, and it is just still awful. In fact, the science shows that trans women in sports have a disadvantage because their skeletal system is typically larger than that of an average, like, cis woman. But where was I going with this? Brain fog. This AirPod is probably dead now because it's not letting anything through. It feels like my ears clogged. Have a disadvantage because bigger skeletal system, but lungs shrink, I think, and muscle capacity shrinks. So there's not as much air getting places. So you have to actually train harder when you're on estrogen, when you're AMAB, to even get to a competitive level. All that being said, I'm not competitive with sports, so it doesn't really affect me, but it's just funny to note. And I was also thinking about how, like, so many people, especially back east, have a huge problem with me being trans. And that usually comes with the presumption that I've been duped or influenced, or like there was an external force that convinced me to be trans, to trans myself. It's the trans ideology, right? Like it's big trans luring people in and making victims out of them, and then causing suicide rates to go up and stuff. The suicide rates going up come from trans people who are not accepted in their community. So it's from the bullying around them that causes suicide rates to go up. And also studies that try to prove this, that like being trans is an external force, don't consider that maybe people just are trans. So like I've been thinking about that and how like I have chosen this for myself. I'm not imposing it on anybody either. Like if you're not trans, you know that, and that's great. But like to the people who think that I was like duped or led by a demon or something, put into spiritual, I can't think of the words right now. It's just false. Like I knew trans people, trans women, growing up, and I talked about trans people growing up, and like I never considered myself one until some very specific experiences happened that allowed me to be honest with myself. And after diving deep, spending years trying to figure this out, did I realize that I am a woman and therefore trans. That was a multi-year experience. No one is becoming trans as part of a fad. I used to worry about that too. I was like, oh, it's just a fad. and then I was a part of it, and it's not a fad. It's just that up until this year, society has been a little bit more accepting, so maybe more people have been coming out. Again, there are detransitioners, but I think 98, according to a study, and I'm pulling these numbers out of thin air, so please fact check me, but according to a study, I think like 98% of people who transition are satisfied, or maybe 92 or something. Some really high rate, higher than I think knee surgery, and people satisfied with that outcome. From what I remember. Again, brain foggy, air no lungy. And there are a percentage of people, like less than 10%, probably like between 2 and 7% of trans people who do detransition. But I think out of that, it's like 80 to 90% of people who detransition do it due to an external force. Like they might get fired, they're in danger, their government hates them, the people around them don't support them, they lose their community. Only out of that, like 2% of people in that like small percentage of people who do detransition do it because they realize it's not for them, and that's great. And like, like the queer community doesn't hold that against you. Like if you transition and you're like, this isn't for me, great, you found that out about yourself. The whole point of this is to find out who you are. So it's not to gain an advantage in women's sports. It's absurd. It's not because my therapist told me to transition. No one told me to transition. In fact, many people told me not to transition. It's not because of some ideology. It's not so I can like go into the women's bathroom and like sneak around, and bathrooms are terrifying. God, I don't want to be in there. It's absurd. It's just because biology is complicated. I don't even understand it enough to like talk, but from what I've understood, like I don't know if it's like completely a medical thing. It's just that people are unique and different, and there are 8 billion people. There's bound to be a percentage of people who are trans or gay or whatever. Like statistically, it would be weird if that weren't the case. But yeah, okay, this was a long rant. This is my cool down period. I got some stretches in. Hopefully this worked. Maybe my AirPod died and the microphone didn't work. But goodbye. Love you, Grandma. Thank you for watching this rant. I'm gonna go collapse now. Mwah.